Hey YouTube, it's James at the Wyvern Watch here again today with another deck profile. This is my latest deck. This is number 45 at the moment. I decided to build this, of course, when the structure deck was announced. I'm a nightmare for doing that, to be honest. When a structure deck gets announced, I'm always intrigued. But this one, a friend of mine, the Dark Magician, of course, has played against me with these before. I generally go with the Fire Fists and he went with Fire Kings, but I've decided to have both because I'm greedy. But when the new artwork said it was going to come out, you know, the Sacred Fire King Garunix, excuse me, absolutely looks amazing. So I know very little on the combos of this deck at the moment. It's an early build. So again, would love the opportunity for a more experienced Fire King player to perhaps show me where I'm going wrong in the build maybe. I'll explain some of the newer cards in terms of what they do. But like I say, there won't be any combo videos or anything like that on this occasion. But yeah, most of you who are subscribed to me now know that I generally build a deck because I like the look of the cards, and that's what keeps me going really. There's no way I'm playing a deck that I'm not keen on the artwork or anything. So this is why I've got 45 decks now, because they've got some very good looking cards out there. I tend not to get rid of them either. So you know, I suppose I'm a bit of a collector in that way. Let me start by saying that, you know, this one is, like I say, I've copied I've gone through a couple of deck profiles on the old YouTube, and I've added my own little thing to it. I'll show you in a sec when we get to it. But if I'm going wrong, please do tell me. That's what I'm here for, really, just to get a bit of advice, but also, you know, show other players what other people's builds might look like, and obviously you can go and make your own build if you wish. So, first card up, of course, is the Sacred Fire King Garunix. So, like I said before, amazing looking card. But if your monster that was originally fire is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special this card from your graveyard if it was there when the monster was destroyed, in brackets, and hand even if not. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can destroy one fire beast, beast warrior, or winged beast monster in your hand, deck, or face up on the field, except this card. And if you do, this card gains attack equal to the half the destroyed monster's attack it had there until the end of this turn. What a mouthful that is. But yeah, you get the point. So it can pretty much special summon itself fairly easily, but also it gives us an opportunity to destroy another Fire King, which of course will trigger their effects as well, but at the same time enhancing the attack of this card as well. So pretty dangerous card once it gets going. I'm also running 3 of the new Fire King Avatar Kirin, which I think is a fairly standard thing. But yeah, during the main phase, if this card in your hand quick effect, you can destroy one other fire monster in your hand or face up on the field, and if you do, special summon this card. If this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one Fire King monster from your hand or graveyard, except Fire King Avatar Kirin. Then you can destroy one card on the field. You can only use the effects at once per turn, blah, blah, blah. So, you know, it's the pop effect as well, of course, at the same time triggering your other effects with the other Fire Kings. And look at this artwork as well, honestly. Absolutely brilliant, that. Another new one is the legendary Fire King Ponyx. Okay, so artwork-wise is not my favourite, honestly. You know, the little Kentucky Fried Chicken there is not my favourite, but it's quite cute, I suppose. It's quite cute. But it obviously is one of the function pieces in the new deck, so had to be in there. If your monster that was originally fire is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon this card from your hand. And if this card is normal or special summoned, you can add one Fire King spell or trap card from your deck to your hand. During the standby, after this card was destroyed and sent to the graveyard, add this card from the graveyard to your hand. Honestly, it's too good, that card, isn't it, really? I don't know if this deck continues, that one might see a limit, I think. Got 3 of the older Fire King Avatar Arvata. That's the one, isn't it? But that is one of the old ones, so I won't run through its effect too much. So I've only got one of the Fire King, this is one of the new ones, the Fire King Avatar Bang Bali. Just one of him. So if a face-up Fire King monster you control is destroyed by card effect, except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand. And when a spell, trap card or effect is activated while this card is on the field, quick effect, you can negate the activation, and if you do, destroy one other fire monster in your hand or face up on the field. So again, that's one negate, but also destroying another Fire King to activate their effects as well, yeah? But again, a really nice looking thing. Couple more of the older ones, yeah. So I'm running one of each of these. So this is Fire King High Avatar Garunix and the Fire King Avatar Barong, both of which are in the previous structure deck. But I just wanted to run as many different names. That's what I kind of like to do, whether they're good or bad. As many as I can, really. That's the sort of point. I don't run them all, but most of them are in there. That's it for Fire Kings. So the other part of this engine is, of course, the Simple Spoils engine. So I'm running one Diabell Star, the Black Witch, which you should all know by now because it's a fairly common thing. Well, when I say common, it's still very expensive, of course, but it seems to be common amongst the Fire King decks. But I couldn't resist, Look at the state of that, that's amazing, isn't it? So one of her, and there's just a couple more one-offs in terms of monsters before I go on to spells. I also run the Fire Channel. I like to run these in my Fire decks, the channelers, just as an extra search or an extra special summon, because I think they're just good looking cards as well. I've got the Quarter Century one of those in the Fire Fist deck, so I didn't really need another one, so I just went with the Ultra on this one. But yeah, good looking thing. And the other small engine that I'm running is the Dark Hole engine as well. So I'm going to run a Dark Hole Dragon, which is in the Quarter Century this one as well. That really pops in that light, doesn't it? But yeah, so cannot be destroyed by card effects. You can only use each of the following effects of Dark Hole Dragon once per turn. If a monster on the field is destroyed by a card effect that does not target, you can special summon this card from your graveyard. And if this card, if it was there when the monster was destroyed, or hand even if not, if this, so it special summons itself basically. If this card is special summoned, you can activate this effect during the end phase of this turn. Add one Dark Hole from your deck to your hand. So believe it or not, we are playing Dark Hole, but of course Dark Hole Dragon is the other part of it. We're moving on to spells now, so I've got a couple of one-offs here. So we've got Terraforming, of course, one Change of Heart, and one, of course, original Simple Spoils Snake Eye. Only running the slightly smaller Simple Spoils engine, so of course the 3 wanted are coming up. But those are your one-offs for the deck. We know what the other two do. Fire King Sanctuary, obviously one of the newer cards out of the structure deck. Just really quickly run through this. So when this card is activated, you can place one Fire King Island from your deck face up on your field zone. Once per turn, if a card in your field zone would be destroyed by a card effect, you can destroy one fire monster in your hand or face up on the field instead. Once per turn, if your opponent special summons a monster, you can immediately after this effect resolves XYZ summon one Fire XYZ monster using only Fire King monsters you control. You can only gain the effect of Fire King Sanctuary once per turn. That's a bit of a mouthful, that one for me, but again, really like the artwork on that one as well. I love it in the ultra rare as well. That looks really nice. Yes, the next one we mentioned before. So this is the Wanted Seeker of Simple Spoils. I was intrigued by the artwork originally on this because we don't really see much like that. It's just a wall with a poster on it, effectively. But I managed to pick these up a little bit cheaper. I think they've gone up since I bought these. But you can add one Diabell style monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand. Obviously searching out the Black Witch. During your main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard and target one Simple Spoils spell trap card that is banished or in your graveyard except Wanted Seeker of Simple Spoils and place it at the bottom of the deck, then draw one card. You can only use the effects of Wanted Seeker of Simple Spoils once per turn. Bit of a mouthful, but it being quick play as well. Super good. I'm actually gone whole hog and gone for 3 dark holes as well. Clearly that works with the Dark Hole Dragon, which I wanted to incorporate into the deck, but you know, it's one of the simplest spells in the game. Destroy all monsters on the field. Literally 6 words on the card for its effect, which is really unusual. But it really isn't a problem if I'm destroying my own Vikings, is it? So that's why they're there, and it gets around a lot of troublesome monsters that way as well. So we're going for a whole 3 on there. Back to some of the 2-ofs. So I've got Circle of the Fire Kings. Super rare out the structure deck again. So this is target 1 fire monster you control and 1 fire monster in your graveyard. Destroy that monster you control, and if you do, special summon the other monster from the graveyard. So again, triggering the Fire King effect while special summoning one from the grave as well. Sorry, is that super rare or rare? Oh no, that's a common, that one. Is it? Yeah, it's common. Sorry, yeah, my mistake. I've gone for Fire Formation Tenkies as well. Obviously going to get the Beast Warrior monsters straight out the deck, and obviously improving by 100 attack, but that's hardly here or there. But just a bit of a simple search function. And of course 2 of the Fire King Island, the field spell for Fire Kings, an older card. Everyone is probably fully aware of it. I remember this card actually playing a part in Cosmo as well, but I never played it in my version. And a couple more one-offs. So we've got Fire King Skyburn and Onslaught of the Fire Kings. So really, that's straight out of the structure deck again, isn't it, that one? So target 1 equal number of Fire King monsters you control and cards your opponent controls, destroy them. If a Fire King card you control will be destroyed by a card effect, you can banish this card from the graveyard instead. So a bit of protection for it as well. An Onslaught is an older card, of course, but if your opponent controls a monster, special summon 1 fire, beast, beast warrior, or winged beast monster from your deck, but its effects are negated, also destroy it during the end phase. So just a bit of a search function, and obviously just additional support for them. And last but not least, I've got a couple of Infinite Impermanence. Infinite Impermanence, you know what that does. And I've gone for 1 of each. So I've got 1 for Echelon of the Fire Kings and Sinful Spoils of Betrayal. So that's just another name to search out with the wanted card. But Echelon, special summon 3 fire monsters, 1 beast warrior and 1 winged beast, 1 each from your hand, deck and graveyard, but their effects are negated. Also destroy them during the end phase. You can banish this card from your graveyard. This turn, your opponent cannot activate cards or card effects when you normal or special summon a Fire King monster. Another little boost. I mean, obviously, it's going to be fairly difficult to trigger, but like I said before, I just like to make sure I run at least 1 of each support card. But again, can be quite simply taken out if I need to make room for other cards. So then we're into extra deck, of course. That's the main deck all complete. I'll start with the Exceeds. So we've got the first one here, which is Garunix and Eternity. Yang of the Fire Kings. This almost sounds like a Yang Zing card, that doesn't it? So 2 level 8 monsters, of course. If this card is XYZ summons, you can destroy all other monsters on the field. You can detach 1 material from this card, then target 1 spell trap card on the field and destroy it. And if you do, this card gains 500 attack. If this card is destroyed while it has material, you can special summon Fire King monsters from the graveyard up to the number of materials this card had. You can only use the effects once per turn, of course. So yeah, a really nice addition to the Fire King support. And then it's really just a sort of rank 8 option. I think I've got 1 rank 4 in there as well. So I've got a Galaxy Eyes full-on Photon Dragon, a number 62 Neo Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon Dragon, number 62 Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon Dragon, Dingirasu, the Orcus from the Evening Star, and 1 number 60 Dugaris of the Timeless. So that's my sort of Xyz lineup. I may as well just show you I'll do them separately. So that's the Xyz's. And then onto the Lynx, none of which are particularly new, but you got Amphibious Swarm Ship Ambler Whale, the one rank 4 in the deck. I've got one Nightmare Unicorn, one Decode Talker Heat Soul, one Nightmare Phoenix, one Heat of the Fire Charmer Ablaze. I've got one Solemite Sunlight Wolf, and the two link ones, of course, is Almirage and Anima. Those are my link options for this particular build. But like I say, I'm open to suggestion if that can be improved, if anyone thinks. Ultimately, I've really enjoyed building this deck actually this time around. It's been a longer one. I normally don't take very long in building decks, but once you've got the 3 structured decks, it's slightly easier, of course. But that took a while getting the components, like for instance the Sunlight Wolf took a little while to get a good deal on. But I thought it's worth investing in the Ghost Rares, because you're never going to lose particular value on them, most of the time at least anyway. But I'm still running multiples in my Salamangreat deck, which by the way does need a bit of a facelift, because I've now finally got the latest support for Salamangreat, and that deck doesn't incorporate it yet. So that'll probably be on the list of things to do. But for now at least, feel free to keep subscribing. I'm at 70. Thank you so much for the people that have subscribed. Please feel free to leave a comment if you're a Fire King supporter or a Fire King lover. Tell me which is your favourite part. Tell me what you think of the Dark Hole package. I know it's only 4 cards, but I quite like it. But I'll see you next time, I think. I think it might be Salamangreat's next. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to be building next. There might be a bit of an update to my Winged Dragon of Ra deck as well, because that's been upgraded. Well, I don't know whether it's upgraded, but I've taken out the Sun Avalon package due to the latest ban list, and now gone back to Numeron package. So they're all in there now, but I'll perhaps do that another time. Thanks again, guys. See you soon.